Hello, everyone. It's me, Orpheon, your infant dragon sorcerer here, and yeah, you all in the comments were begging that Asta get his five-leaf clover, even though he has the Omnitrix. In the previous What If, I did basically about, what if Asta had the Omnitrix, and yeah, okay? Yeah, he'll definitely get his five-leaf clover, because I do want to please every one of my subscribers, so, you know, Asta still comes across, well, the rogue chain mage who stole Yuno's four-leaf clover grimoire who wants to sell it as an art piece. And Yuno's tied up by the rogue mage's chain magic, and Asta, he sees this and he's angry. So he actually tries to transform into some form that's actually useful. And he actually transforms into Accelerate. And yeah, he turns into Accelerate and he pretty much charges at the rogue mage, and his chain magic is just, he uses his chain magic and he's trying to attack Asta. And Asta, while he's in Accelerate form, he says, "What the hell do you think you're doing with my rival's grimoire?" And the rogue chain mage is like, what exactly are you? You know what? I think I might capture you. Some people would pay a hefty price for a creature as exotic as you. And Asta, while he's in Accelerate form, he just zips past all of the rogue mage's chain magic trying to capture him, and he does relatively well. And then all of a sudden, he starts to time out. And when he's about to land a good blow after dodging all the chain magic. And he's like, "Oh no, this is bad. This is really bad." And the rogue mage's chains go after Asta and tie him up. And Asta's like, "No, wait. This can't be how it ends. I have to become the Wizard King. I promised, and I'm not breaking my promise." And in the distance, a grimoire with 5 leaves glows and starts to fly off the bookshelf and goes to Asta. It appears in front of Asta, and then as the grimoire glows an ominous red energy of red light, a silhouette of Asta's shadow turns into the form of a demon. And the rogue mage is terrified, and Asta tries to free his hands, but then the sword, his anti-magic sword, came out of the grimoire by itself and cut through the magic that was binding him. Then the sword landed on the floor, the ground. And then Asta's like, "So, this is my grimoire. Talk about perfect timing." Asta grabs the anti-magic sword, and with insane speed, he manages to charge right to the rogue mage and cut through his chain magic, and actually lands a full-on critical blow at the rogue mage. And he's like, "How? What even are you?" He's out cold, and his magic's completely depleted. And he's out cold. Asta then tries to hand, his four-leaf clover grimoire, but it flies back to Yuno. And Yuno's free, as well as the two nobles. And pretty much then Asta and Yuno, mainly Asta, He says, "Look, Yuno, I finally got my grimoire." Pretty cool, huh? I know it looks a little raggedy and tattered up, but it's my grimoire. And now I'm one step closer to becoming the next Wizard King. And Yuno says, "Not before I do." And Asta's like, "Yeah, right. I'll become the next Wizard King way more faster than you." Ooh, Yuno. And both Asta and Yuno both give each other a fist bump, and the sunset is showing to the next day. Pretty much at the next day, Asta is still getting used to using his grimoire, and also, since Asta's grimoire is a 5-leaf clover and he gets his anti-magic sword, he can still transform in using his Omnitrix into different forms. So the grimoire stays very close to him at all times, since it's Asta's grimoire. And it's almost time for the Magic Knight selection exam. While Asta and Yuno are about to head out, Sister Lily pretty much ask Asta and Yuno to see them off. "You two, be careful out there, alright?" And Asta's like, "Don't worry, Sister Lily. I'll be just fine. We'll both be fine. You don't need to worry about us. It's not Yuno I'm worried about, it's you, Asta. It's about that magical power of yours. Transformation magic is really odd." And Asta's like, "Don't worry, I got better control of it." And then Asta and Yuno both head to the capital where the Magic Knight selection exam is taking place. Asta looks at the castle where the Wizard King lives. Sorry, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I can't talk today. I'm basically didn't have time to make a script for this what if, so I'm sorry if I keep stuttering and pausing in between words or sentences. I'm trying to get better, so bear with me, everyone. And Asta, he sees the Wizard King's castle, and Asta's like, "Hey, whoa, look at this place. There's a market and there's some good food, and holy moly, that's the Wizard King's castle." And Yuno's just walking and not saying anything. And Yuno then says, "Soon to be my castle. Hey, if you're lucky, I'll let you live there." And Asta's like, "Yeah, right. As soon as I become the Wizard King, I'm going to take Sister Lily and the kids and the priest along with you over to the castle to live there." And then Yuno and Asta register their grimoire to the registration. And the person at the registration, he's surprised that he sees a 4-leaf clover, and a very powerful one. And he sees Asta's 5-leaf clover grimoire, and he scans it, and it works. He's registered, and things happen relatively similar, except in this particular part of the challenge, he basically still encounters Yami in the same weird way as he does in canon, and Yuno still doesn't have any of those birds that can sense magical power anywhere near him, and Nero is still sitting on top of Asta's head. And this is right after he encounters Yami, captain of the Black Bulls, who was threatening to kill him by crushing his head, trying to crush his head, but the Omnitrix then transforms him into basically Heat Blast, and while Yami is grabbing hold of Asta's head, he transforms straight into Heat Blast because the Omnitrix has a failsafe that makes sure that he doesn't die. It wouldn't let him die because it has a failsafe. And then Yami's like, "What the hell? What type of magic does this kid even have?" And his head literally turned on fire. And everyone, including the nobles, are like shocked looking at Asta in his heat blast form, turned into heat blast, and he turns back because the threat that was threatening his life is past, and he turns back into his normal human form. And Seke still tries to act smug and pretty much, instead of Seke challenging Asta, Asta then challenges a royal because he's confident that he can beat a royal, and the royal's like, I guess this is my lucky day. I get to show off my magic to the squads, and a noble such as myself will actually become higher ranking, of course, of my stature and status. And Asta then transforms into, let's just say the rogue mage has very powerful plant magic, and pretty much Asta then tries to transform into Heat Blast, and he actually gets transformed into forearms. And he's like, oh man, stupid watch. Got the wrong form. Well, better make the most of it. And he charges at the royal, and he's like, and everyone's watching him, and he's like, so he has, what type of magic even is that? Is that, did he transform? Does he have transformation magic? And everyone's puzzled at seeing Asta transformed into forearms, and the royal, he tries to use his basically tries to use his plant magic to create vines that wrap around forearms, but forearms is easily able to break free, and he grabs onto the royal's vines and plant magic, and pretty much he just spins around with all four arms, grabbing onto each and every plant magic attack that were basically vines. And he's strong, really strong. He spins around with the holding the vines in all four of his hands. And he basically swings and throws the royal straight to the Colosseum wall, and the royal's like very unconscious, and he literally is just thrown straight through the wall. I mean, just picture this. Forearms, just basically somewhat wearing Asta's clothes, but pretty much throwing a royal, through a wall. And there's like a huge like hole in the wall, and the royal is just, his head is sticking out of the other side, and he's unconscious, and some of the mages are having trouble trying to get him out. I mean, just picture that. I mean, and the nobles, all of them, they're seeing this, and the captains, they're like, huh, this kid is pretty strong. What exactly is that magic? And obviously, still beats the crap out of the royal, and using his 4-leaf clover grimoire, and then it's time for everyone to get picked for a squad. Asta doesn't get any hands, but except for the Black Bulls, and still gets picked by the Golden Dawn and all the other squads, and he still goes for the Golden Dawn. And sorry if I'm starting everyone, I didn't have time to make a script for this what if, and I'm trying to make more scripts for all my what ifs, so that way I don't stutter in between sentences. I'm sorry, everybody. That's a what if. And picks the Golden Dawn. Asta gets chosen by the Black Bulls, because the other knights didn't understand what type of magic he's using, and they were afraid of the unknown, like in canon. And Yami then tells Finral to open a portal using his spatial magic to teleport them back home to the Black Bulls' hideout. And of course, Asta charges to the entrance and announces, "Hey everyone, I'm proud to announce that I am a member of the Black Bulls." And right when he enters the room, Magna and Luck are actually fighting each other because Luck stole his pudding, and Magna's really pissed off at Luck, and he's using his flame magic and throwing it all over the place. And one of Magna's magic, flame magic orbs and blast, actually almost hits Asta, but then the Omnitrix AI senses his life is in danger, and it automatically sends out a sort of force field pulse protecting him and bouncing some of the flame magic that Magna is using. God, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. God, that sounds so stupid. Oh man, sorry. All right. And Yami is still mad. He's saying, "What the hell is wrong with you guys? Stop wrecking everything!" And of course, he damages the part of the door, and there's a huge hole in the Black Bull's hideout. And Magna and everyone is coming to see, glad to see that Captain Yami is back from the Magic Knight selection exam, and Magna's saying, "So, do we have any new recruits?" And then Yami grabs Asta by the head and just throws him in front of everyone, and he says, "Hey guys, I'm the new member of the Black Bulls." And Magna's just glaring at him, and he says, "So, you think just because you've been selected by Captain Yami, thinking you're actually able to join the Black Bulls? Well, you're wrong, kid. It's time for your little baptism." And everything happens relatively the same, except, well, Asta, right at the moment when Magna uses his flame magic to attack Asta, Asta then turns into Stinkfly, and he barely manages to avoid getting hit by Magna's flame magic, and he's actually able to use Stinkfly's sticky goop to aim directly at Magna's feet and pretty much bind him up with this sticky goop that Stinkfly is able to use. And everyone's like, "So this guy has a type of transformation magic," and Gray's just seeing this and is just saying, and smoke is still coming out of Gray's mouth like all the time, and Gray is starting to take a liking to Asta because their abilities are so much similar. But during the baptism, Magna breaks free of Stinkfly's goop and makes it splatter all over the place. And Magna's like, "Seriously, what type of magic was that? And what is this stuff? It reeks!" And he begins to charge another very big flame magic explosion right at Asta. Asta times out and he falls down, but then he pulls out his grimoire and his anti-magic sword, and he basically reflects Magna's flame magic. And Magna basically is able to avoid it, but he was almost hit with his own magic. And not only that, and he was almost killed by his own magic. And he was like, "Seriously, what type of magic was that? That was pretty cool. Congratulations, you're now a member of the Black Bulls." And the next day, while Asta is taking care of chores, cleaning, feeding the monsters that Yami collects, and cleaning the baths and doing the laundry, Asta then and Magna then come across Noelle right in the middle of their tour. And Noelle's still glaring at them, thinking she's better than them. And Noelle's magic still goes out of control, as usual, but the Black Bulls, then, in particular Yami, pretty much then ask Asta to fly up there and use his magic to calm Noelle down and save Noelle. And he tries to turn to Stinkfly again, but he basically ends up turning into Ghost Freak. And he's like, ugh, man, stupid watch! And he then basically flies up and he pulls out his anti-magic sword and cuts Noelle's magic, and he catches Noelle, brings her safely down, and pretty much Noelle thinks that everyone's still going to make fun of her, just like the rest of her family, the Silva family, and she starts getting flashbacks and starts getting terrified that everyone's going to make fun of her, and she's going to be all alone again, being called a failure and a mistake that shouldn't have happened. And Asta still says he's impressed by Noelle's magic, and he's also jealous that Noelle has so much magic and he doesn't. But then Noelle's like, wait, what about your transformations and that grimoire of yours? Asta's like, I don't really know much about my transformations. I'm still trying to figure it out. And pretty much later on that day, Asta fiddles around with the Omnitrix and tries to figure out what it's supposed to even be, and what it's able to do. And he then triggers a sort of failsafe that also is able to somewhat allow him in better control of the Omnitrix, but it sort of recalibrates itself and starts repairing and changing its shape and form into the Omnitrix we know as Benton Alien Force Omnitrix. And Asta is pretty much like, wait, what the heck? How is that possible? Wait, this is no way. New forms? That's incredible. And then he then sees a holographic projection of Azimuth coming out of the Omnitrix. It says, well, whoever you are, the Omnitrix deems you worthy of wielding the Omnitrix, and it's your responsibility to protect it, no matter what. And Asta's like, wait, what's this little gray thing? What even is this? And Azimuth just says in the pre-recorded message that the Omnitrix is a level 20 tech device that was sent to Earth to prevent Vilgax from getting his hands on it and being a massive threat to the very universe and all 5 galaxies. And Azimuth keeps saying in Benton Omniverse, 5 galaxies, why is that so complicated? And Asta's like, whoa, so what are aliens? Okay, I'm confused. Then the holographic projection of Azimuth dissipates, and he says, good luck to the wielder of the Omnitrix. Protect it no matter what. And protect the universe. And guys, that's where I'm going to leave it off this time. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And try to please support me on Patreon, or basically subscribe to my channel and tell others and share this video with everyone. See if I can get more subscribers, and I'm really hoping I can make it up to 1,000 subscribers just like Kid Zeuss. And if you guys all like my what ifs, please support the Sins, and a link to our channel is down in the description box below. And I'm part of the Sins and all that. Well, need to get started on my next video. Alright, Infinity Overdrive, infinite realities, infinite possibilities. See you all next time.